Okay, this is how I edit my pictures in Adobe Camera Raw. This is one I haven't edited before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but this is straight out of the camera. And you can see what I've done is expose for the highlighted areas. If I were exposed for this, then that would be just blown out. So that's why everything's so dark. What I do is sometimes I'll go to the white balance and go to auto just to see how that looks. And if I like it, I'll use it. If not, I'll adjust it from there. And I think I kind of like it. Bring this down a little bit maybe. Same thing with all this. Try the auto first. And what this is, those little spots right there, those are the areas that are blown out since it adjusted up higher. And what you can do is either move the whites back down until they're gone, or the highlights, and you can see what that does to the rest of the picture. You kind of want to adjust that to where there's no areas that are blown out. Same way with the blacks, the darker areas. If I was to bring the exposure down, oops, let me click this on. It is on. The areas that turn completely black start showing up. These are still, you can't see very much in there, so what I'll do now is bring up the shadows. You can see that affects just the darker areas in the picture. Doesn't affect the bright areas. I'll bring that up until I can see what I want to see. And then I always usually just bump up the clarity just a little bit, show you what that does. Up and down. Just brings out more detail. I usually, almost all of them, just bump up the vibrance to a +8 and the saturation to a +3. And from there, open into Photoshop. Okay, from here, go up to image. I always try auto tone first and just see what that does. And I kind of like that. And then go to filter. I have a Topaz Adjust 5 that I really like. I use it on almost all my pictures. And just try different ones. Yeah, that looks cool. Try different ones till you see what you like. I kind of like that. And another thing I do sometimes is add a little vignette. That's too much. It just darkens the areas around the edge. Or lighten if I go this way with it. And I think it looks better. This one looks better without it, so then click OK. Let it do its thing. another thing, for example, say for example, I didn't want that. Looks like a trailer or something. I go to, this is the spot healing brush. I can just do that and it's gone. That's how I can get rid of trash or anything in the picture that I don't want. A stick that's out of place. I could get rid of all these if I wanted to. Just cover them all up. And sometimes you just gotta play with it. Just keep doing it. Anyway, and that'll make that go away. Let's see. And I think that looks okay. Another thing I can do too sometimes, to say if these clouds were boring, is go to the burn tool. Up here you can it makes the burn makes areas darker. You can make the shadows darker, the midtones darker, or the highlights darker. Well, just to show you, I'll put midtones and go in this area right here. And this is exposure 5%. That's how much darker it's going to make it every time I swipe it. You can see what it's doing there. Just to show you what that does. Same way with the dodge tool. That makes areas brighter. You can see it made those areas brighter. That's how you can bring out some detail in your clouds. But that's basically how I edit my pictures.